And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote. Today's quote is in alignment with our networking principle number 1, the difference between networking and selling. In selling, you are addressing the customer right in front of you, whereas in networking, you are addressing the person in front of you, but also thinking about addressing all the other people they know. In other words, when networking, you are looking at the forest in addition to the tree in front of you. With us today in the studio, we have a very special guest, someone who spent quite some time networking and who also provides very much needed services to families and businesses. I'm going to let him introduce himself. His name is Stu Howard. Stu, how are you?
I'm great.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Well, I'm Stu Howard. I'm an independent insurance broker and Legal Shield associate, and glad to be here.
Very good. All right. Before we go any further, I hear something to the grapevine. I heard that you got engaged this past week.
I did. This past weekend.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You mind giving us a name, the first name at least?
Catherine. Katie.
Catherine. Okay, good. Well, yeah. Congratulations, Catherine.
Hello, Katie. And friends and family. Yeah, it's very exciting. It's been a big week.
Okay.
Engagement and a TV appearance. And
yes. Well, it's just getting better and better.
It is. It is.
Okay, good. So now tell us about legal services, the Legal Shield.
Well, Legal Shield essentially is a service that gives affordable access to legal counsel and legal advice to the average American. We all know that attorneys are very expensive. We fear to use them because of that, and also not knowing who to call. Legal Shield gives a simple point of access through a dedicated provider law firm in each state that is your hub. You would get national coverage. Legal Shield is available in 49 states and in 4 provinces in Canada. Okay. It's sort of set up like a health insurance model.
Got it. Okay. We'll get back to that in a minute so you can break it down for us.
Sure.
First question I have for you is, what would you consider personally your biggest challenge in life?
Personally, biggest challenge?
Besides winning Catherine.
Besides what?
Besides winning Catherine.
Yeah. I guess I succeeded in that challenge. No, really, it's just about getting people to know, like, and trust you. You know, that's a challenge I think we all have every day, and especially with providing such a unique service that, you know, not a lot of people know about. It's a lot of education and a lot of trying to develop relationships to get people's minds and ears open to hearing about how we can help them.
How do you go about it? How do you try to overcome that challenge?
I do a lot of networking. Okay. As you mentioned, I do a lot of networking to start developing some relationships with business owners, other active networkers, to have them help become part of my sales team, have them help me spread the message and word of what we're trying to do with Legal Shield and get these services out to the masses.
Okay. Very good. So when you say you do a lot of networking, how many networking events do you attend a week?
Oh, a lot. Catherine would say too many. A lot of early morning, a lot of luncheons, a lot of after hours. So it can be some pretty long days sometimes. Probably on average between 5 and 10 a week. 5 and 10 a week. And mixing that in addition to all my decision maker appointments with employers and things like that. So it's pretty busy. I like to stay busy, so I can't complain. Okay,
very good. Is there any, what is your favorite networking event? Or do you have any?
Of course, your Breakfast Club.
Oh, good.
Good. At the very top of the list.
It's smart.
Yes, it's always a very good one. It's always on my calendar, so look forward to it.
Very good. And now, what would you consider your biggest success as a person?
Wow, you hit me with some tough questions here. No, biggest success. Yes. That's a tough one. I think I've had a lot of maybe small to medium successes. I'm not sure about a big ultimate success. I still think I'm trying to get there.
Which one do you cherish the most so far? Which one's the most dear to you?
I would say being a business owner. You know, I'm an independent, again, insurance broker and Legal Shield associate, so I'm a business owner. I started right out of college being my own business owner. So I'm proud of that, and also proud of the fact that I'm the first in my family to graduate from college. I graduated from
Congratulations.
University of Virginia, so very proud of that.
Okay, very good. So basically you never had a job?
I've had a couple jobs, but in college.
In college.
I have not technically had a job since I was, I guess, about 20 years old in college, and then I took a sales job while in college, and I never really looked back. I've always been independent, able to do my own thing, and was able to stay out of the corporate rat race, as some people call it. And you know, I do see a lot of folks that just kind of really wish they had chosen a different path. So I feel very fortunate that I've been able to.
What got you to do that? Most people, when they finish school, they go to a job or what have you, and then later on maybe branch into some kind of business, individual career or what have you. I'm just trying to understand, how is that a decision making? It just happened by accident? How did that come to happen?
It was a decision. I think it was because I had a few jobs. I worked part-time when I was in college, which just kind of needed to do, and I saw that how employees were treated, and the fact that just showing up to work would get you paid, but in order to succeed, that model just didn't work for me, because there were people that came in that did almost nothing or next to nothing, where I worked, a lot harder for the same amount of money. And I think being a business owner, what you put into it, you get out more directly. So I like that.
Very good, excellent. Now, Legal Shield, explain that to us, the service.
Well, Legal Shield's a unique service and a priceless benefit. It gives you the ability to talk to an attorney on any matter without worrying about the high hourly cost. For one flat monthly fee, you can access legal advice no matter how traumatic or trivial the issue. That's why under the protection of Legal Shield, you and your family can live your life worry-free every day, every night, now and forever. Now, these are all things that we've all gone through, but have you ever signed a contract or document? Have you ever been overcharged or treated unfairly? Have you ever received a traffic ticket? Known a victim of identity theft? Been in a situation where you thought the advice of an attorney might be useful? Of course, we all have, so these are just some common things. Legal Shield received over 2 million requests for service last year across the country. Here's some just common questions that came up: real estate issues, consumer finance, collections, warranties, other contracts, family law, divorce, child support, child custody, estate planning. One of the services they will provide for you is a free will. You can also have living will, healthcare, power of attorney done. Traffic issues, traffic tickets. I drive a lot. I know you probably drive a lot too, Basile. They will go to court and assist you with that. So again, matters from the trivial to traumatic are covered under Legal Shield service. How do we help when you call? Now again, I'm not an attorney, so I wouldn't be helping you with this specifically, but here are some of the things that we cover. Unlimited legal advice, letters and phone calls prepared on your behalf by the attorneys. Contract and document review, up to 10 pages. Again, lawyers prepare your will, living will, healthcare, power of attorney. Helps with traffic-related issues, trial defense. You do get a block of hours for pre-trial and trial time with the service. IRS audit assistance, 25% preferred member discount on all the other non-covered services. 24-hour emergency access for emergency situations, such as being served with a warrant, being arrested or detained, things like that. And access to over 100 online legal forms that you can use, fill out, and review with your attorney. So a question I ask a lot of people is, think about, if you were my attorney, what would you charge for all these different services here? And usually people are quite surprised to see how affordable the Legal Shield service really is.
What got you to pick that service to provide it to people?
Well, it was a natural fit for me, really, with the insurance background. We had a lot of group accounts that we were already servicing that really started to ask us about this service. They were hearing about legal service plans, identity theft protection. And so we saw the need in our existing client base and really saw that millions and millions of Americans needed this service, and we wanted to be on the forefront of providing it, helping provide it to the masses.
Very good. Okay. So now, the reason I want on the show, because it's, for us, it's very fundamental. There's such a thing called rights. We all have them, and we want to protect them.
Certainly.
And the rates they are only few people in the country can afford them. I guess that's the value of your service.
It is, very much so. Usually having access to the legal system and the top attorneys is a privilege of very few. Legal Shield's helping to make it the right of the many to have that access and having it a very affordable service.
Could we say that your service then level the field of justice?
Levels the playing field.
Yeah,
yes,
the playing
yes.
field.
That would be a very good, accurate statement.
For full disclosure, I'm a member of Prepared Legal Services, and I've been using it for 6 to 7 years right now, and I find it highly valuable as a service. And I think it's valuable because, as I said, we all have rights and they need to be protected. Rich, poor, middle class, we all have rights that need to be protected. They are fundamental rights. And maybe the value of the service that you provide is the fact that now anybody, virtually anybody, can now protect their rights.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. It's an all-inclusive service.
Okay, good. So now, understand, you take that to companies as well.
I do. That's my main focus, is to take that to companies.
Any size company you're looking for, or you got to be to 20?
We can
30?
work with any size company.
Any size company. Okay.
Usually the smaller companies are what I personally go after on a regular basis, but Legal Shield as a company nationally, we have some very large accounts, including state governments, colleges, things like that.
Really?
So we
state
can,
government, huh?
yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we can handle anything of any size. And again, I'm an independent associate with Legal Shield. So.
Okay, now we all know that the law are state by state. Let's say I'm a member of Prepared Legal Services. I'm here in Virginia. What if I have an issue in Canada? What if I have an issue in California?
Well, we do have a plan that operates in Canada and one in America. So let's just stick with America. For example, we have coverage in 49 states, all states but Alaska. So there's a dedicated provider firm in every state. So if you have a real estate issue, you live in Virginia, you have a Virginia membership, you have a real estate issue in North Carolina, you know, or you get a traffic ticket there, you would still call your dedicated provider firm here as Virginia members. They will then transfer you to whatever state firm that you have an issue in, and they will help you resolve that problem. So you essentially, with a Legal Shield membership, have national coverage. Again, we all know attorneys usually that live in our area, they practice in 1 or 2 states, and they are experts in a certain area of law. Well, we know there's many, many areas of law. So now you have access to attorneys that are nationwide, first of all, in 49 states, and are experts. You have access to experts in every area of law. So our network of attorneys is over 100,000 strong.
So basically, as if you have an attorney in each and every state.
Yes, several, many attorneys in every state.
Many, okay.
Many attorneys in every
Not
state.
one, many.
Many.
To be perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, excellent. Now, let me ask you this. Have you used the service yourself?
I have a couple times, just for general questions, nothing major. Luckily, I haven't had any legal issues. I did have a run of some traffic tickets a few years ago, but that was before about 4 years ago now, where I had 3 tickets in a year and had to retake my driving exam, but that was before I had a Legal Shield membership. Also, several years ago, there was a dispute with a landlord that I wish we had had the service for, but again, that was before the service.
But have you used the service you offer now since you became a member and using it? Have you used it yourself?
I've used it for consultation. That's what I mean. Calling in for questions and advice on certain situations. You know, what are my rights here? What are my rights there? But I actually haven't had to, for example, go to court or have defense for, you know, a driving ticket or, you know, something like that. And that's 90% of the use of Legal Shield service is the unlimited advice and consultation. So those 2 million calls that were received last year nationally, 90% of those fell into the covered advice field.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Can you call any day? Can you call anytime, or how does that work? Are you limited to 2 or 3 a day? Or?
You can call for as many times per day, per week, per month as you want. The number one benefit in the service, again, is unlimited legal advice and consultation. So you can call up our provider firm here in Virginia or whatever state you're in as many times as you want. And then there's other certain covered benefits that you do have some limitations and restrictions on, and it's very simple. Contract's about an 8-page contract, and it can really be explained in a very short trifold brochure that we use for presentation. So it's very straightforward as to what's covered.
Okay, now talking about contract, how does that work on a contract? I want to have a contract. Can I get it for them to review it?
You can. Actually, I was meeting with a business owner before I came to the studio here today, and we were talking in depth about contract review. And we know that contracts usually reviewed by an attorney cost several $100s, per contract. You do get contracts and documents reviewed for free, up to 10 pages under a personal membership. But again, we also have a business membership available to business owners, so we were talking more specifically about that program. So we do have some different plans available.
Okay. When you talk to, if I understand, there's different plans. There's a plan for a family.
Yes.
How many people are covered in family? The household, the wife, or how?
Yeah, a family's covered at the same rate as an individual. So for one price, you're covering spouse or significant other as long as you've lived together for 6 months or longer. There's no restrictions on for example, same-sex marriage or anything like, or partnership, domestic partner. It's all covered as long as you've lived together for 6 months, and then covers your children. As long as you're the guardian, regardless of where they live, up to age 18, up to 21 if unmarried living at home, and up to 23 if full-time college student. So a little bit different than the health care laws, which now cover up to 26 regardless of student status. So a little bit different breakdown for the kids.
Very good. Now, how about, clearly there is a family plan, there's a business. Tell us a bit about the business plan. What would be the difference?
Well, the business plan is set up for business legal needs. Again, still the number one benefit in there is for that business owner and one other designated person. So they can designate on their business plan 2 people that can call up and use the plan, the program. So usually a business owner and a manager.
All the employees cannot pick up the phone.
Not all the employees. You pick, usually it's the owner or CFO and maybe a office manager, somebody like that. 2 people designated.
What a bummer.
Or what's that?
What a bummer.
Yeah. So they can then use that for unlimited legal advice, but you can also have business contracts and documents reviewed, something like a lease agreement. If an owner doesn't own a building, he might have a lease. He might want that reviewed. Just a simple business contract, you might want that reviewed. There's also designated consultation for things like employment relations issues, workers' comp issues. So quite comprehensive.
I read somewhere that part of the business service include a section called Go Small Biz.
Go Small Biz, yeah. I was actually going to mention that. Go Small Biz gives you access to business experts in all areas. It basically gives you, not only now a legal department, but maybe an advertising department, and just experts in all areas of business that you can now have access to for, again, a very small fee that will be in addition to your business membership. One of the things that I usually point out is with small businesses, a lot of times they'll want documents created, something maybe like an employee handbook. That's something that Go Small Biz can help you prepare, with very minimal amount of work. So now that HR person is not having to spend a lot of time and effort and money generating that employee manual that all businesses should have on file, but most don't, unfortunately.
So basically, if I understand well, so the legal shield then become not only the legal services, but also a business consulting. That membership provides you a business consulting.
It can. It's basically
like if you have questions, marketing, Lord knows, public relation or sales, or
you got it.
You have people that can help you with that.
Yeah, exactly. The Go Small Biz section is an add-on to the business program. So we always let business owners know that that's available too if they want some help and consultation for different business consulting aspects.
Okay.
Yes.
How about non-profit organization? Do you guys sign up a non-profit organization?
No, not for a business program. The business program cannot be sold to nonprofit businesses. It's got to be for profit. But we can help employees of a nonprofit business.
Oh, okay.
So usually with employees, this is set up as a voluntary benefit, available through payroll deduction. They get a group rate. So we can sign up nonprofit organizations to help their employees, but not for the business legal matters. Gotcha.
You mentioned prior to that the state and cities. Do you do state and cities, or is also, maybe it was not, maybe I missed you, but the employer, let's say somebody work for the government, you do not sign up a government per se, from what I understand.
No.
As an entity, or
as an
section,
entity,
no,
yes.
But their employees, just like
exactly.
For that matter, this non-profit government. For that matter, government is a non-profit by definition.
Yeah. Okay. So the employees of
the concern of the employee, but not the entity itself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. That's interesting.
Very interesting.
That's very interesting. No, it is definitely interesting. Now we have the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Which you attended. Let me tell you a bit about it. We have that every Thursday, the second or third Thursday of the month, here in Fairfax at the Old Town Hall, 3999 University Drive. We just had one last week, and the next one will be on 14 February. I don't know if you'll get to see this program by then, but if you do, definitely would love to have you there. I also want to let you know we have a great expo coming up. We had the last expo on December 7th. Stu was there.
Yep, I was there.
Yes. We have another one coming up on May 17. We'll have 100 exhibitors. In fact, we expanded the location. We just signed a contract yesterday. We'll have it at the same location, which is on Sunset Hills Road. We'll have 100 exhibitors. We're expecting 400 to 500 business people there. If your business exhibit, we want you to give us a call. Or by the way, you can see the website of the expo there, which is ultbizexpo.com. ultbizexpo.com. Go to that website and register. We take only 3 companies per industry to exhibit, and that's so we can really and actually showcase you. But I don't know of a better way, really, to grow your business. Now, I know that the economical climate out there is tough, rough, it's not easy. And the name escaped me, but one of the Hall of Fame person in advertisement say, in good time, you want to advertise. In bad times, you have to. And that's what I'm stressing this expo. It's a great place for you between 9 o'clock that day to 2 o'clock. You get the opportunity to meet 200 to 300 people. Why do we put on those expos? If you stay in your office that day, if you are lucky, you'll meet 10 new customers.
That's right. That's right.
So do you want to meet 10 or you want to meet 200? I think that's an easy decision. So definitely would love to have you. It's a great event, a lot of fun, and the last one was the best expo we had. One of the exhibitors came out of there with 17 leads. Another one, 12 customers.
Wow.
I mean, that's just the day off. We had an exhibitor who's a clothier. You can say it's a separate activity, but the interesting factor, that guy goes to exhibit all the time. In fact, the first time I met him was in DC. He never hoped to sell anything. I don't say he doesn't want, I say he doesn't hope to sell anything. No. And he came to our expo, he sold 3 suits and some shirts and what have you. He was blown away.
He'll be back.
Oh, he already signed on. He ain't dumb. But really, it's organized so that you can get business and grow your business. It's for you to promote and grow your business. So we'd love to have you there. So any final word you have, Stu, for our audience?
No, I don't think so.
You covered it all.
Contact us. Contact me.
Yes, absolutely. Your website, yeah.
You'll see our website,
yes,
and my website, right email address, email me with questions.
Okay. So you can contact him and answer any question you may have. The last thing I would like for you to communicate to the audience is your experience at the Breakfast Club.
At the Breakfast Club, it's a very unique event, I would say. You're forced to talk to people, which is great because
don't be so loud.
Yeah. A lot of networking events you may go to, there's people standing in the corner and, they may not want to meet and talk. And, at the Breakfast Club, they're they're going to talk to people. They're going to be forced to meet, which is good. It's very energetic, and you do meet a lot of people. And I definitely highly recommend coming and come on a regular basis.
Yeah, good. Well, we're definitely happy. We're glad you come and that you're one of the regular person coming. Just so you get an idea, well, we designed that event from the viewpoint of the guests. We went, you as a guest, when you walked into the room, what do you want to see happening? We put that in. What is that you're not interested in? We took that out. That's what makes it completely different from any other event.